As a physicist, I would say people don't often look at me and think, oh, she must be really creative. But actually, I spend my life solving problems, thinking of ways of doing things, designing things. Every big discovery is coming from a creative mind who's thought a little bit differently and done things their own way.
I'm in my last 6 months of my PhD, and that is around how can we use touch points in memory growing up as a child as a form of methodology to recreate things nostalgic. When you're in the process of being in a creative space, you kind of zone out. Everything just becomes a halt for me.
I think uncertainty, allowing yourself to embody a position of uncertainty, leads to discovery. And it's an uncomfortable place to be, but I feel like that's where I get my best ideas.
Creative thinkers, you can't be too fixed on sticking to one thing and kind of having tunnel vision. You have to be able to think, right, now we need to change, now we need to adapt. It's really rewarding when you have that kind of, oh, eureka, we've solved it moment, when things really work.
Here at the university, we teach and we do research in VR. What an amazing thing to be at the beginning of a medium. Like it's like the 1800s all over again, and we're trying to do something new, and we're sort of collectively learning about it and figuring out, what is this new language? How is it powerful? How can we tell stories in it?
It's about collaboration, co-designing, and all of these creative thinking. And that's what's most important, is building the relationships for your creative outputs. If you don't have the relationship, it doesn't have any substance to it. It could be creative, it could be academic, it could be scientific, it could be creative. You need to be a master of these things, because your creative outputs become more advanced as you develop those skills.
You really have to, use all parts of your brain and think about how you can apply things, how you can make things better, and what you can do. My mum has no idea what I do. Tried to explain. She's like, oh, that's nice.
I don't get up and say to myself that I don't like what I do. And I think that's the beauty of being in a creative space, because you love it.
I really believe that creativity is a muscle, and that, like anything else, we exercise it and then we come to embody it. So I believe that creativity is a learned process. Like, sure, there's a spark that inspires you to go down that path, but in terms of staying on the path and doing creative work as a sort of like calling, that's just like exercise that you do every day.